Hi, everybody. My name is Glenda. If this is your first time, thanks for stopping in. For those who are returning, I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Well, I am really excited. I am joining in another collab, but this collab is going to run me through my entire growing season. That's right. Gardening season is getting ready to kick off really soon for me, and I'm super excited to join in a collab that merges both of these things together nicely. And if you've not heard of it, it's called Survival Seeds 2024, and it's hosted by the Vineyard Chicks Homestead, Bushcraft Family Farm. You can see it scrolling all at the bottom, and Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. The concept of this is, what would you grow if we had some kind of emergency? Let's think about this for a second. Emergencies can be so many things, from a natural disaster to financial loss and everything in between. How would you be prepared? Think about that. Well, since 2011, I have been growing my own produce. And in 2020, I got chickens, so I now have eggs. But with my garden specifically, through the 2020 thing that happened around the world, I never once had to worry about food because my pantry was always filled with things that I had preserved from my garden. And let me just say, I'm so grateful for that pantry. And I was able to share with friends and family members that couldn't get access to the grocery store the way that we were accustomed to. And to be honest with you, I still grow and preserve my own foods. Quite frankly, I think it tastes better than grocery store foods. Now, I do buy foods from the grocery store. I'm not going to say that I don't, but I prefer the stuff that I have grown and preserved and put up for down the road. So this collab is just so exciting because it makes me think a little bit outside of the box, because there are things in here that I would not normally grow. So with that said, I received my envelope from the Vineyard Chicks, and I've already opened it up, and I'm super excited to share with you what's in there. The first thing that I got was a pamphlet, and it says Survival Seeds 2024. And on the back of it, it lists each of the channels that are part of this collab. And as you can see, it's the Vineyard Chicks, Bushcraft Family, and Lazy Days Ahead. So without further ado, I'm going to let you know what's in here and what my thoughts are with each of the seeds, okay? So the first one that we have is the marinara tomato seed. Now, it's a hybrid. It takes 74 days from start to finish to get your fruit. They are extra large Roma type fruits that keep exceptionally well. The 4 to 6 ounce fruits are uniform with deep red, smooth, unblemished skin. The tomatoes have excellent firmness with thick walls and rich red internal color. Plants have excellent vigor and heavy fruit sets. Flavor is top notch. This tomato is going to be really good for growing or for salsas and spaghetti sauce. And I have grown this before. This is actually a staple of mine. And to be honest with you, I do make my own salsas, but my favorite thing really is my pasta sauce that I make. And I use the ball canning book for a recipe. So that's where I would defer people to if you're interested in finding a really good sauce. And it's so good that one of my kids who watches my channel loves to shop my pantry. And sweetheart, this is the key to that. It's this tomato, actually. I use a few others in my sauce, but this is one of my favorites. So I'm really excited that that's part of the Survival Seeds 2024 challenge. The next up is going to be a personal challenge of mine, and it is the Waltham Butternut Squash. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. It takes 105 days to grow, and you want to direct seed this. This one actually is organic. It is a favorite butternut, uniform in 8 to 10-inch fruits, have thick cylinder necks and small seed cavity. The rind is creamy tan and yellow-orange flesh. It is very delicious, has a little bit of a nutty flavor, and stores very well. So why did I say this is going to be a challenge? For the past 2 years, I have tried growing butternut squash, and I have a problem with squash bugs. So I don't have an organic garden because of where the garden sits at. It is next to a cornfield / soy field. And so I know that they do use chemicals. I'm fully aware about it. I'm not the kind of person to get all upset over it. Rather, I'm going to work with my surroundings because it still tastes better than going to the grocery store. So I am aware of all this. However, I use organic products in my garden, and I tried to deal with it with beneficial nematodes and ladybugs as well. But I have a problem with squash bugs, and they always attack my butternut squash. So if you guys have any tips, leave it down in the description box below. Please, no harsh chemicals. Again, I'm trying to stay away from that as much as possible, but it is not an organic garden. I just practice organic gardening techniques to lessen how much is actually in there. I'm not stressed again. But if you can give me some tips on how to deal with the squash bugs, I'll take them because I'm going to grow this again. I don't give up that easily. All right, so the next one is the Italian peppercini pepper. Another one of our favorites. I like to pickle this and put it on sandwiches. A little bit about this. It takes 62 to 75 days. It's perfect for pickling. It's a bushy plant that provides good scald protection for the 3.5-inch fruits that grow on them. They have thin walls and sweet, mild heat. You want to pick them at the yellow-green stage for pickling or to allow them to ripen on the bush for fresh eating. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be in my pantry this year. I'm really excited. Now, the next one is not one that I would have chosen personally for Sir Grace and I. It's something that we really don't like to eat. With that said, this is the first year I will say that I'm really excited to grow this. And I just said, I don't like to eat it. Well, hang on. Let me tell you what it is. It is the Detroit red beet. All right, let me tell you about it. 60 days to grow. This improved selection of the popular Detroit red beet produces higher yields of smooth, uniform, globe-shaped roots. The flesh is tender, fine-grained, sweet, and deep red throughout. It's also good for dicing. They don't get woody. You can use them for canning and pickling. The glossy green medium tops make tangy boiling greens, high yielding. Okay, so why would I want to grow something I don't like? Well, here's the thing. I like greens, and I'm going to throw the greens into different dishes, and I'm going to find ways to whether eat it fresh. I don't know if that's a good idea. We'll try it. But mostly I'm going to chop it real tiny and throw it into things like meatloaf, spaghetti, make it tiny. And that way we can eat it. Now here's the thing with the actual beets. I'm planning on looking for a recipe, just simple. I'm going to cook it first. Then I'm going to freeze dry it. And then I'm going to blend it up into a powder and put it in my veggie powder that I freeze dry. Yes, that's right. I actually make a veggie powder. My current one includes carrots, celery, onions, garlic, tomatoes, roasted bell peppers, and so forth. So I will be adding the beets to it. So that way it enhances not only the flavor, but it also enhances what we are consuming nutrient wise. So I'm really excited to grow that this year. The next one, I have to get started within the next week, and that is the Walla Walla onion. It takes 110 to 125 days to maturity. The mild giants are famous in size and for their sweetness. They are globe-shaped. Golden skin bulbs grow up to 4 inches across. Now, what I am going to say is that this is considered a short keeper onion, okay? So what does that mean? That means that these will not store like the long storage onions. So with that said, I ain't afraid of growing these things, and I don't ever worry about storage. Nope. I freeze dry my onions now, and I will put them up. I'll either leave them chopped and freeze dried, or I'll blend them up and I'll make my own onion powder with it. Here's the thing. You don't need a freeze dryer or a dehydrator to store onions long term. I don't care if it's short term or long term onions. If you want, the other thing I personally do is I chop them up and I'll put them in freezer bags. Let me just say, that was a game changer when I started this several years ago, because I'll be honest, even the long-term onions go bad fast. So here's my little tip. Chop them in whatever shape you want, dice them, slice them, whatever, put them in your storage bags, freeze them, and you can pull them out and use them at a later date. And finally, the last one is a seed that I have never grown. I'm really excited. Every year I decide to grow something new every year to see what I think about it. And let me tell you, it can be a good and bad thing, because either I really, really like it or really, really don't like it. And I have multiple reasons why. But I have expanded what I grow in my garden by challenging myself to grow something new every year. So this year, I'm really excited because it comes from this challenge as to what my new item is going to be this year. And that is the light red kidney bean. I have never grown kidney beans. Now I grow beans. I grow all kinds of beans. My favorite one is the Chinese long noodle bean. But I have never grown kidney beans. So I'm excited to give these a try. And so with that said, they are perfect in your chili. They have rich flavor. They are a light red kidney-shaped bean, widely used in cooking. They are bushy plants that are well adapted to the northern climates. So I am going to be growing this one this year for the very first time. I will keep you guys in the loop as to what it is like for me and if I would grow it again. All right, you guys. So one of the things that I would have added to the Survival Seeds challenge is spinach. Spinach is chock full of fiber. Eating it will give you nutrients such as vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, iron, folate, and potassium. But furthermore, for every 100 grams of spinach, it contains 2.9 grams of protein. And we all need protein in our diet, and I find that that is a really good source of it. The drawback to spinach, though, is that you need to grow it. Most of the varieties, I should say, not all, but most of the varieties need to be grown in the cooler temperatures. So for where I'm at, it would be the spring and fall time frame. In the summertime, the heat causes it to bolt really fast. Most varieties, I should say. So that is something that I grow in the cooler temperatures, and then I actually go ahead and I freeze dry it, so that way I always have spinach on hand when it's not in season. It's great in quiches. It's great in so many things. You could even put it in that veggie powder and sneak spinach into your loved ones' diets. Hint, hint. So I will be growing that. But in the summertime, when it's really, really hot, I also grow amaranth and eat it like spinach. So, but I don't know that I would put amaranth in my survival seeds. But, if you're in a hot climate, that might be a suggestion. Look that up and find out what it's good for. All right, you guys, I am super excited to be part of this collab. There is going to be some giveaways. So please stay tuned to that. It'll be more towards the fall time. More information will be coming out as to when this is going to happen. So stay tuned. Make sure you're commenting on each of the videos in this collab. You can find the playlist at the Vineyard Chicks Homestead. And I think Bushcraft Family Farm sorry, I keep saying farm. Bushcraft Family, back up, I apologize. Bushcraft Family, I think that they're having a playlist too, as well as Lazy Days Ahead. So make sure that you check that out. And anyhow, you guys, I will be giving you guys updates on the garden. Unfortunately, I don't have a specific spot to keep all the seeds like in one area for the survival seeds challenge, but I will be growing each and every single one of these things. I'm going to try to keep it separated from things that could cross-pollinate with it, because I would like to collect the seeds for the following year. It's something that I enjoy doing. Anyhow, you guys, I just want to say thank you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Make sure that you be kind to somebody. You have no idea what they're going through. And you guys, I challenge you to get out into the garden during your growing season and try something new. If you've never grown anything, for me, it started with a 5-gallon bucket and a tomato plant back in 2011. And now I have a 30 by 40 garden that I grow in. Yeah, that's how much fun it is. And how good is it? So give it a shot, try it out, see what you think. I hope that you enjoy gardening. Anyhow, you guys, we'll catch you next time. Make sure you comment below to be put in for the drawing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.